Good evening, my name is Bellflower, or Bell. Some of you might already know me from the previous entry in this series. Welcome back to the Starry Skies ModPack. Woo! Last time we went over test version 2, which is now renamed to beta v2. We're beyond test versions, which is very nice. The download should be in the description if you want to check this out spoiler free and just explore all the features that have been added in this version for yourself. But if you want to get a little bit of a scope for what is added in this update, continue watching. Again, thank you so much for the support recently on the channel with all my videos. Of course, the most recent episode of this series where I create this mod pack has gone huge on the platform, so again, thank you very much. And with that, that brings us to our first change. Alright, so up first, as you can see in the right side of the screen, we have added in JEI to the mod pack, so that way you can now view all the crafting recipes or otherwise obtainants for all of these items, including vanilla ones, and if you scroll towards the back, it also includes modded ones. Right about here. It starts featuring artifacts and then goes from there. As sort of a preview for what other mods we have in here as well. We also have another cool mod. This combines the bell crafting recipe and fish on the line mods from Ceruleum, as well as the recast mod in order to improve the quality of life of fishing. So now, when you throw out your fishing rod, and if you just step over here, when you get a fish on the line, the bell will ring. And your fishing rod will be recast. So if you're a fan of just sitting around and fishing while watching some sort of video, like maybe one of my videos that I previously uploaded, you can now watch them and simply right-click in order to fish AFK over time. Of course, I didn't let it ring that time. But yeah, as you can see, works perfectly, especially if you have lure. You can just kind of keep your hand on the mouse and you'll have a lot of fish in no time for your supply of food. And if you ever want to just stop fishing, you just right click when there's not a fish on the line and it will pull it out. Very useful for AFK fishing. Up next we have two other mods that are mostly decorative. The Clear Item Frames mod, which lets you shift right click on an item frame once something has been put inside of it. And you can turn it transparent, so you can have items hanging on your wall. Great for decorating your house. Ignore what you saw when I shifted there. That's a spoiler for something that's coming up. And we also have the Be Proud mod, which features new pride flags that you hang off of these flagpoles. And you can hang them around your room, you can hang them around streets like it was real life. There's all kinds of pride flag variants that you can choose from here. If you want to attain them in survival Minecraft without any cheats, you can make the printer item, insert ink, and then get the blank flag, insert it, and then print out whatever flag you want, like this. And voila, you now have the trans flag. And this goes for any pride flag. Depending on what you make, it may take certain colors such as blue and magenta here. On to the next one. Another simple tweak that we added is the mouse tweaks mod. This just allows you to shift-click items quickly into a crafting table, a furnace, around your inventory, into a chest, anything you need clicking for. We also have Wildfires female gender mod, which allows you to change between male, female, and other to offer more gender customization to players rather than just having a flat bare chest. You can change the size, the separation, etc., with all of these settings. You can also use the character settings to turn on female heard sounds, breast physics, all the way up from OR physics even on, all the way up to anime breast physics, breast momentum, etc. And man, it sure would be a shame if there were Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson behind me. Oh god, it's Dwayne, the House Johnson, the Block Johnson, the Flower Johnson, Dwayne the Wall Johnson, Dwayne the Potted Flower Johnson, which just killed It's kill or be killed, Dwayne. You can get this. I don't know why you would ever want this house of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but there is the Dwayne mod. I believe you grab him from... Yes, crafting him with 2 rotten flesh and a cobblestone. And then you can turn that into a block, and then from there, it just spirals out of control. Please, like, never build your friend's house out of this, or they might just leave you forever. We finally made it to the middle of the jungle. I'm starving, but we have to investigate this temple to see if we can find any food in it. Thankfully, it won't be so dark down there thanks to the Miner's Cap mod, also supported by Lamb's Dynamic Lights. Let's be careful. Just gently walk around. Who uses this puzzle solution anyways? What's this? A new type of grass? No way! Using mud, and the sword of the jungle temple, and the blade of the jungle. How crazy! That's right, with our new mods, you can now obtain jungle tools from the jungle temple, a structure that generates in the underground jungles biome. Unfortunately, in testing these structures and biomes do not generate, we are currently figuring out a fix or if we might have to remove it, but for now, we are keeping the items and we may find a way to incorporate them into a different structure, but that doesn't solve our food problem. Gently avoid these as we set off the arrow traps and pillage this for its arrows. Maybe we'll find lucky food here. Well, we found good loot, but nothing but rotten flesh and hat bags, trims, and diamonds. Except, has anyone ever looked behind the dispenser? Whoa, there's a new loot chest back here. What could possibly be inside of it? The fabled Chex mix, full of great, nutritious foods, such as the breadstick, and the circle pretzel, and the rye cracker. That's right, we've added Chex Mix to Minecraft, so now you can get food from your own Chex Mix bag. It has a cooldown, but it's basically a lot of food at once. We haven't figured out a rebalancing tool for this just yet, but we should eventually, so that ways it becomes a bit more integrated as a more cooled down food source. But for now, enjoy it for what it is. It generates rarely in certain structures, not including the jungle temple. So yeah, as you also notice in the bottom right, we have the armor durability mod, though I should probably show you it in more detail through this. Maybe you find yourself with a bit more gear towards the end of your playthrough, and you need a way to keep up with all the durability stats of your tools. Well, this mod has you covered. As you can see in the bottom right, you now have a heads-up display for all of your armor durability. Of course, this also unfortunately overwrites the right shift button for its UI. There may be a way to configure it. If so, it will probably be configured in the final release to instead take the spot of an unused key. But for now, you can use it to keep track of all of your armored tools that you have on you. But why would you need to keep track of that? Perhaps you're getting yourself into a bit of combat. Perhaps your village is under siege, and you need to save it. Well, using our new guarding mod, you can now parry attacks. Every fighting game has a proper parry system usually, where you can knock back opponents, stop attacks, and possibly even get your own attack in instead of theirs hitting with you by blocking at the right time. This is no different. Well, let's say you've been swarmed, you're backed into a corner, and you have no way out of it, and you need to deal with these oncoming enemies fast. Well, that's what the bomb arrows are for. You can attach TNT to an arrow to make an explosive bomb arrow, which is great for dealing off enemies in massive groups. Just be careful not to blow yourself up with it. Oopsie! Another set of features for this update that I like to showcase off is this update. The chat heads update. Now all players, when they speak, have a head next to them for their own head whenever they chat. However, there's also a way to show off your items in chat. So if I pull out a netherite sword and I go into my inventory and I just press Control and the chat button, of course the first time it doesn't seem to work. You gotta let it really recognize what it's looking at. Sometimes it's broken, but there you go. You have your oak button in chat, and if you hover over it, there's your oak button. Sometimes the game does panic when using this mod. Usually it's the first item that you load up into there. It will actually say is stripped birched wood. So if it does show up like that, it's just an error from the mod developer's end. So now you can show off all the cool items that you get along the way. So for example, I would give myself an anvil here, and I were to rename this tool to something else, I can now showcase this item in chat using this command. And they can see my netherite pickaxe named The. But perhaps you're looking for an upgrade to your gameplay experience overall. And that's where the brand new to this mod pack, Farmer's Delight pack, and Chef's Delight, and more comes into play. This mod adds a ton of cooking, such as cooking pots, skillets onto stoves, cutting boards, cabinets, baskets, knives, everything you could possibly think of that you want out of a cooking mod. Farmer's Delight and the additionals have it, such as Chef's Delight, which adds in all the cooking elements to the food that you would find around, that you would grow. How about Storage Delight, which adds a ton of brand new drawers to the game. Small warning, a few of them seem to have slightly broken textures. Just anything cherry and bamboo seems to not be fully finished inside the mod. So just beware of that. This gives you a whole set of new things to play with in terms of immersive experience in your world with cooking and farming. Real quickly, if you made it to this point in the video, you're probably enjoying my videos and my content. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It helps me out greatly. It shows your support for the continuation of the development of the mod pack and sends your love and appreciation to me, and I'll try and pour that back into everything I create. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this far. Let's get back into it. But now, night is falling and it's raining outside. And you want to stay cozy inside your house, but you have no torch, like that guy does. Well, using the new Night Lights mod, now you do. A toggleable little light that you can keep right by your bedside to keep it nice and bright at night. We also have a plushie to keep you warm. The Blahaj mod. This is the soft little IKEA toy shark plush. You can hold in your offhand to turn it around. There's all kinds of different variants you can grab by dyeing it. And yeah, you can grab this by simply crafting it. There are some sold by the sheep villager only though. Speaking of decorative blocks, you ever just wondered why isn't glass connective in Minecraft? I have too. And using the connectivity mod, you no longer have to worry about that, as all your glass will now form one big pane, no more ugly outlines around each block like it used to be, like this on every single one. Now, you can have your glass all connected. This works with every variant, including tinted glass, but stays separate per color that you add in. There's also the Wakes mod, which lets you throw things, including yourself, and it'll form waves. Pretty cool, right? Speaking of cool new features, I've never been a fan of how plain and boring swamps are in Minecraft, which is why the Beneath the Wetlands mod adds in a bit of lore for you. You'll find all kinds of steampunky, metallic, architectural design things beneath the wetlands here, made out of the new bog iron, copper, and some other blocks like andesite and moss. They'll occupy your wetlands, sometimes forming these huge cogs and gears, these metallic structures, left behind by who knows what. That what is to be created by you, the player, in your own stories. But maybe you're also looking for a structure to come with this mod. I know you. You're definitely looking for one. And not to worry, this mod offers up a structure for you. Elder Golem Dungeon, which is a rare structure added by this mod. You'll find in your overworld sometimes a trapdoor. And if you descend this trapdoor into the depths of it, you'll find yourself in a brand new dungeon, the Elder Copper Golem Dungeon, filled with twisting turns, ladders, and often flooded by water. You can trudge through it to find yourself in this room, where you'll find all kinds of neat components, including the broken copper gear and the carved pumpkin. And if you place your carved pumpkin right up here, and you turn the brand new copper valve, and push that forwards, it should create a copper golem. Should. Uh-oh. Well, it should create a copper golem for you. I'll have to do more testing on that as well. But this is also just a great place to get your iron bog iron, and your sunken brick blocks. This nice gray-blue brick. On to the next one! Quickly, to wrap things up, let's rapid fire through a few different changes. You have the chainmail bucket, which lets you empty out water source blocks and lava source blocks without actually picking them up. However, just be careful as you spill a little bit of everything you pick up. You have the netherite nugget, which will be dropped sometimes by piglin brutes, and can be used as a new, cheaper way to repair your netherite armor rather than using a full ingot. You have the skulk horns, which give off unique effects and are crafted using warden bits that are dropped. There's two different attacks. There's the sonic beam, and there's an area of effect attack, both of which have cooldown times, though the beam has a notably shorter cooldown time. And of course, finally on this rapid fire is not enough trinkets, which allows you to equip a whole bunch of trinkets from the trinkets mod at once. You can see here, it's been greatly expanded to allow for a bunch more customization to your player. Next up, we have a mod that I failed to show off last video, but I'm showing off now in case anyone was confused. Welcome to Incendium, the harsh overhaul of the Nether that adds a ton of new structures and biomes. You can see I got 4 different achievements there. It adds new mobs to the Nether Fortress that can spawn depending on what biome you're in. It adds these desert blazes that you see here. It adds a creature known as the Toxic Slime. That one is my least favorite one to fight against. It overhauls existing biomes. And, of course, it allows for you to explore the Nether in a brand new way that you have never seen before. Filled with brand new structures, such as the Sanctum. The Sanctum is a dangerous structure to enter, filled with the unused Illusioner mobs outside, tons of Pillagers and Vindicators within the main hull, Evokers, Vexes, and, to get you on the right path, a secret underground labyrinth that will have you unraveling the mysteries of the Sanctum. There are other structures as well, such as the Piglin King's Castle. The Piglin King's Castle is home to tons of dangerous creatures, such as the new Piglin Brute variant, such as the one that can fly after you on Elytra. These ones that can switch between crossbow and axe mode, ones that can mine through blocks, and more. And of course, sometimes they'll even drop you a netherite nugget. See? This and plentiful more that I haven't showcased yet is available within the Incendium mod, So take a dip into the nether and check out what there is available for you to find. Of course, we also have honorable mentions to mods that wouldn't make it into the final cut for version 3, as they crashed the game. These mods being Farmer's Knives and the Craftable Capes mod, both of which output unreadable errors when trying to launch them into Minecraft, and so unfortunately, they had to be scrapped in this version of the mod pack. Not to worry though, if there is a fix found for them while in testing, we'll re-implement them for you. But for now, they'll have to sit this one out. And finally, we have the Vulpine mod, which adds in new fox variants. And it adds in that you can tame foxes between generations by breeding them to slowly be more and more friendly towards you, until finally, you're able to keep one as a pet for yourself. So while they may look wild, deep underneath them is a nice little layer of cozy cuteness. What's not to love about foxes in this game, honestly? And that just about wraps up the entire video going over version 3. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported me so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe to see more updates to the mod pack. This has been StarlitBell, wishing you a wonderful day, a wonderful night, whatever time it is for you. And take care out there. Alright? Bye-bye. Whoosh.
Wanna see something funny? Boing 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 boing.